Alright, this is Shalom, Kahalayim, Wahawadla, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Rakakwadash, double honors the apostles, and elders of great millstone that rule well. Peace and blessing to the Akimoni wool that pushes through to the four corners of the earth, right? In season, out of season. I said I'll go through a few precepts and I have many precepts that actually support this. Despite what it is taking this kingdom, that it's just about grace and you can do whatever it is you feel like. You understand? It's not so with Yahushua mashayach. You understand? Now, it does have grace in the sense where sometimes where you might falter or you might be able to do certain things that that you're supposed to be doing. That is what we have grace for. But it's not to say that you could just live in sin or sin doesn't apply or any of these other things that is teaching you will. I think that is John 14:15, I believe. Right, John 14 verse 15, it says, if ye love me, keep my commandments. And that was something that Mashayach said because the writing wasn't read. But that is always the attitude of Jake. Scriptures say that they would heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. Let me see if I can get that quick. I think nice second. Is it Timothy or Peter? Sometimes mix up two of them. Salaki about that. I feel it's Peter. I'll just go back to the Timothy. Salakia. That precept just come to my mind, but I wasn't expecting to use that precept. It said in 2 Timothy 3, I'll start from 1. It said this, knowing also that in the last days perilous time shall come, for men shall be lovers of their own selves. You understand? And that is what you're seeing. They don't love to do the things of the Lord. They love to do the things according to their own pleasure. Right? Covetous, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy. You understand? And these are the kind of characteristics that you see them portraying today. And like I was talking about, heaping to teachers having itching ears. Why? Because they flock to these things because that is what pleasing to them. They want to do what they want to do. And the people of this world are actually teaching them things that way. That is what they would gravitate to because they like things done their way. But it's not about having it your way. This is not McDonald's. You understand? So there's Jeremiah 5:31. It said the prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their own means. And my people love to have it so. You understand? That's how Jake is. And what will ye do in the end thereof? Right? So let me go more into the precepts I was talking about. I have Jeremiah 11:8, I believe. Jeremiah 8 verse 11, right? I'll start. So Jeremiah 11 verse 7, Salakia. It says, for I earnestly protested unto your fathers in the day that I brought them out of the land of Egypt, even unto this day, and even unto this day also, not even just that day as in the time of Jeremiah, but even unto this day also. It says, rising early and protesting, saying, obey my voice. And how he does do that? By through the mouth of his prophets. Because we just rise early, and put videos telling them to do what? To do the will of the Lord. To do what the Lord say. You understand? Speaking by the mouth of his prophets since the world began. Verse 8, it says, yet they obeyed not, nor inclined their ear, but walked every one in the imagination of their evil hearts. You understand? They did things according to their pleasure. And the scriptures say there's nothing new under the sun. The same way that Jake was back then is the same way Jake is now. There was rebellious back in those times, and they always used to find good reasons to be rebellious, and they're rebellious in these times, and they always have a good reason why. Some of them just flock to teachers that teach that, you know, you could sin because sin don't affect you anymore, so you could do what you want, and after you finish, just kneel down and say, you know, sorry, please forgive me, and everything will just, you know, everything will just be cleansed. You understand that the kind of lies that they just teach in this society, and many similar lies also. And the imaginations of their evil heart. It said, therefore I will bring upon them all the words of this covenant, which I commanded them to do, but they did them not. That's why Jake went under what the curses for disobedience, for not doing the will of the Lord. And they feel just because, you know, the scriptures talk about the new covenant and so forth and grace, that means that they don't have to be obedient now. But it's not so. You still have to do the will of the Lord. That is what? That is, I think in Matthew 12:30. Even Mashayach said this. Is in Matthew 12 verse 30. Say, he that is not with me is against me. You understand? Now the one in Luke where it say, this my servant that will not serve me, you know, bring them hither and slay them before me. You understand? That is the kind of mindset that Mashayach have. And he, when you see him, you see the Father. That is the kind of mindset that the Most High has. That's why the scriptures say what? The sinners of my people shall die. That doesn't mean that nobody never sin. You understand? Might have a difference between those that still sin willfully, knowing that what they're doing is wrong and still doing it, and those that, you know, just mess up sometimes. Those are trying to do the correct thing or live the correct way, but sometimes in the flesh it is just mess up. That is how you're really supposed to be in this truth. The scriptures say what? Not to be righteous over much, neither be over wise. But it also saying in the book of Sirach, it say to offend less. You're supposed to be trying not to offend the Lord. It will happen from time to time, but you're supposed to be trying not to. That is the mindset you're really supposed to be in. It's not about you could sin when you feel like because you're not grace, so because you're not grace, that means, you know, everything cool now. No. It said in Matthew 5 verse 18, right? I'll start from 17. Matthew 5:17, it said, think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. And this is something that people just can't get into the head. It says, I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. And how the churches does actually sway that fulfill. You understand? You come to fulfill the law. That was, I think, Acts 3, that's 16 or 18. Yeah, Acts 3 verse 18, it say, but those things which the Most High before had showed by the mouth of all his prophets, that Mashayach should suffer, he had also fulfilled. Because he, as the scripture also saying, Luke, he say he fulfilled all the things that were written of him. That fulfillment of the law didn't mean that he come to abolish it, that, you know, it no longer affects you. Because if you were no longer affected by the law, then that would mean that all of Israel would be saved, or could be saved, because, you know, you have nothing to worry about anymore. They would have no reason to destroy 2/3 of Israel. You understand? Any coming downs. Like I say, he didn't come to destroy the law. He came to fulfill it. And you're supposed to walk in his steps. Meaning you're supposed to be working towards that perfection also. Not to just be doing whatever you want and just saying, you know, God, please forgive me. You understand? That is the teachings of these churches under the image of Jesus. You understand? This guy. That is the teachings of this guy. You understand? No matter what, I love you. You know, like Trevor says, as a so-called herbalist in this country of Trinidad, that is something he's always saying. And remember, I love you. You understand? It don't work so with the Lord. Say Matthew 5 verse 18, it says, for verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. Now, the sacrificial laws no longer apply because mashayach was the ultimate sacrifice. That still doesn't mean that now, you could have your head bald. You understand? Now, if your head naturally bald, then okay. That don't mean it's supposed to be a ball in your head, or passing razors on your face. And all these things still apply. All these things still apply. You understand? All these things still apply. If a man living that way and just don't care, thinking to himself that at some point in time he will just get away with it, it don't work so. If a wife commit adultery, the laws for that still apply. It's true you're not able to take them out anymore like you would in the past. Cause in the past, if a man commit adultery with your wife and she was a part of it, you were supposed to stone both of them. You can't stone them anymore. You understand? But you're supposed to refrain from her. Because as the law say, if a next man go on to her, she is unclean. That is the law. You can't go back into her again. Especially if she actually had the knowledge of right and wrong. If you all were in the world and you all didn't understand these things, and you all came into the truth, well, anytime you're ignorant, you see the Lord wink. But if you actually in this truth and you understand the knowledge of the Lord, and you still go and do something like that, you will have to feel the full blunt of the law. Like I say, you can't stone them, but you have to put her away. If you don't, you will have to answer for that, because that is the law. Without wisdom on how to go about certain things. As I say, it has sometimes you got to work on the Sabbath, and the law originally said that you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath. Certain things you had to use wisdom for, and then certain things you had to know to stay away from. You understand? Especially as the apostles just say to stay away from sins unto death. Adultery is a sin unto death. You understand? Smiting your parents, cursing your parents is a sin unto death. Bestiality is a sin unto death. It has certain things you try very hard to avoid. You understand? Especially if you know the truth. Right, as he said, it say, verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass, one jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law, till all be fulfilled. Whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments, you understand? So you want to go around telling people it's okay to bald your head now. It's okay to, to line up your hairline and all these different things. All the other things that the scriptures say. It's true you're in captivity, you can't always control the type of clothes that you wear and all these different things. You have to use discretion with certain things. But if you want to go around telling people you could do these things now and it's okay, under grace you could do whatever and you'll get away with it. And not have them actually working towards keeping what they could. Right? Yeah, it say, whosoever therefore shall break one of these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven. So you're supposed to be practicing these things as much as you could. And you're supposed to teach others to practice these things. You understand? That's how it's actually turn a man to righteousness. And as I say over and over, the definition of righteous go back to what? Law abiding. Being one who does the things of the Lord. A person can't be righteous and they're not keeping the works of the Lord. That is the definition of righteous. Righteous means law abiding. Righteous is not just a state of mind, it's also a state of action. That's how Job was a perfect man, because he used to do the things of the Lord, not just because inwardly he just liked the Lord. You understand? But he also used to do the things of the Lord. That is what made him a perfect man. Same thing as being righteous. A person can call themselves righteous if they think to themselves that they don't have to do what the Lord say. That is what definition of righteous is. Law abiding. Law abiding, not in crossing at a red light and buckling your seatbelt. Is about doing the things of the Lord. That is the definition. Had a scripture just going to get slip my mind. Salakia. Yes, I remember. Tawaraba. Yabasham Yashai. So Judges 5 verse 11, it say that they that are delivered from the noise of archers in the place of drawing waters. And the place of drawing waters represent what? Slavery, where we are in right now, right? It said, there shall they rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. And how is rehearse something? Rehearsing is an action. Like if you're going to rehearse for a play, you're actually going and play out the scenes. That is how you is practice, that is rehearse. A man can't say that he's righteous and he's not doing the things that the Lord told him to do. That is not righteous, that is self-righteous. That is a big difference. That's why the scriptures say in Romans, it say, they being ignorant of the Lord's righteousness and going about to establish their own righteousness. You understand? Just paraphrasing. It's a big difference. Righteous is according to what the Lord says, not how you find or what you feel should be done. That's the thing where you're supposed to be rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord. Alright? It says, even the righteous acts towards the inhabitants of the villages in Israel. So there's something you're supposed to be doing constantly. Not only when you're by yourself, when you're among others. Scriptures talk about being that light. You understand? It said, then shall the people of the Lord go down to the gates. And that will be waiting for to enter into those gates. You understand? This is things that we're supposed to be practicing now. And we're supposed to do it according to how the Lord say. Not to how Caesar Borgia, how he does teach people, no matter what, I'll love you. Just say you love me and just say sorry whenever you do something abominable or something out of time, against the scriptures. You understand? He through this system and through these false prophets, he doesn't teach men to fear the Lord. He doesn't teach men to actually rehearse righteousness. He does just teach love. Love, pay your tithes. That is it. You understand? But Yahushua Mashayach, he does teach that you have to do what you're supposed to do. You have to feed the sheep. You have to rehearse the righteous acts of the Lord. You have to have faith. You understand? All these things. So I hope it was edifying, to anybody that listen. Shalak Rayam to this system. And to this Caesar Borgia who people like to worship too. And these 2/3 of Israel who like to flock to these things and not onto the teachings of the Lord. Actually doing what the Lord say, but like to follow the customs of the heathens and these pagan gods. And also Shalak Rayam to everybody that is flagging the videos of the men of the Lord. Actually reporting the videos and actually trying to hinder this word from coming out. Even though they can't do anything against the truth but for the truth. Shalak Rayam to them still. But for making yourself an obstacle or an anti-mashayach. Because anti just simply mean what? Against. That's why scriptures say there are many anti-mashayach or anti-Christ, as the scriptures refer it, going out into the world. You could have 2/3 of all people are anti-Christ, so anti-mashayach, because they are against the Lord. I was edifying with that. I say shalom.